Negative, sir. Just not eligible.
Yep. Sorry, 46. Down there. Yep.
Near 14th on traffic 100, Block East Parsons.
William 2224, Black Mercedes SUV.
Charlie 2120, I think. William David Boy, Union Frank 56, X-ray 7 Boy 180845.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
40473760.
Perfect.
Good morning, friends. It is April 11th, 7:34 in the morning, and I am out early today because of some issues. I've got some stuff I've got to do later in the day, so I figured I would go ahead and come on out this morning and get some street time in and get some stream time in. The more we stream, the better the algorithm likes it, so I try to stream as much as possible. That, and, you know, I'm out covering these streets anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and stream it. Let's see, do I got my radio on? Yes. Boom. So yeah, the algorithm loves it when there is a...
Could you show me back in for a warning for running a stop sign?
The algorithm loves it when the more we stream,
basically a little
the more they love it.
digital
So,
time bomb. What is the White House's response going to be to this attack?
what did I just do?
Services, it doesn't...
I hit the wrong button, guys. I hope I'm on.
Does not stop illegal immigration.
Way of saying thank you for shopping.
I think I'm on the right. I think I'm right. Shucks. What did I do? I messed my radio up here. Now I'm gonna have to pull over. Dadgummit. Hang on. Nope, I got it right. Alright. I think I got it right again. Alright, anyway, what I was saying was the algorithm really loves it when we stream. So I try to get in as much streaming time as possible. At least an hour or so in the mornings, hour and a half in the mornings. Yeah, man, but things are working right now. Dash is growing. I love it. Nomadic is growing. So we're doing good. We're doing good right now. We got a lot of cool things that we're going to be announcing coming into the future.
You pay attention to cat notes have been added since
I know I've been talking about a TV show for some time, which we're in the works of doing. And one thing that I've learned about TV is nothing happens fast. I mean, I signed the contract for this show last year, and we're just, we just now started actually doing, we just started actually filming here very recently. So, production companies and the networks, they nothing happens fast, I'll tell you that much.
From an employee at the IGM Public School advised that the subjects walked
And the thing is we started really getting into this show right around Christmas time, and pretty much everybody took off right after that. Uh-oh, my little thing ain't up. There you go.
Charlie 109.
Go ahead.
So anyway, a lot of stuff to announce coming up soon. And I got my new, so people probably don't realize this, but I write community notes on X, and I got a new community notes name today, this morning. I woke up this morning to a new community notes name, and it is, let's see, what was it? Peppy Glacier Turkey. Peppy Glacier Turkey is my community notes name. And I don't think most people know that the people that are writing community notes, they don't come up with their own name. In the beginning, you're given a choice from Twitter. You're given like 4 or 5 different options to choose from. And yeah, then you're stuck with that name. And they changed mine for some reason. But anyway, long story short, I've got a new name. And it sounds Peppy Glacier Turkey. I mean, somebody pointed out on Twitter this morning that was basically, it's just a penguin. I guess they're not very peppy, but a Peppy Glacier Turkey. I like that name. I don't know where they come up with these names. I think it's hilarious. I think it's absolutely hilarious. But yesterday, I want to tell y'all this. Yesterday, we were out in the camps yesterday, checking on people, making sure that they made it through the hailstorms the other night. And I have a friend that lives over by Mopac and Southwest Parkway. His name is Lucky. And Lucky is a methamphetamine and heroin addict. And that's his whole mission in life is to do as much meth and heroin as he can do. It's crazy, but it's true. And this guy, check this out. This guy was telling me about meth yesterday. I was asking him questions about his addiction and if he was ready to get off of the dope and so on and so forth. And he was telling me that he is 31 years old and he is he won't accept housing because he likes being out. He likes being outdoors. But he wants to be able to make money, so he's taking classes. I didn't ask him how he's taking classes because he doesn't have a phone. But anyway, he says he's taking classes. And he was trying to tell me that methamphetamines is, when they make it, they put gold in it as a conductor of energy. So when you ingest the methamphetamines, you're ingesting gold, and you're ingesting this massive amount of conductor, energy conductor, and that's how meth gets you so pepped up. And he was telling me, like, look, I can either use I'm gonna be up all night, so I could either take apart my computer, my car, my radio, or I can focus that energy into schooling. I think the schooling has failed this guy. But it never surprises me the stories that we hear on the streets, man. And people wonder why these guys are actually homeless. A lot of them are homeless because, they've got some issues that they have to work through. There's symptoms of homelessness. There's causes of homelessness. And until those causes and those symptoms are being addressed, you're never going to, you're never gonna get off the streets. That's my take on it anyway. So we're heading into Austin. I'm on Bell Boulevard, or 183, not the toll, but the 183A. And we are heading into town. Let's see, arrest made. In custody is. Was pronounced dead at the scene, and another man. After the shooting, police released photos of 3 people. According to police, one of them, now identified as Sarah Sando, was invited to the complex by the victim. Sandoval and the man 2 were seen fleeing the complex. He's believed to have a tattoo. Whoa, good catch. Let me look into this and I'll see if I can't confirm it. But I think you're right. All right.
Going to be en route to a criminal trespass, 901 here, Circle Charlie. Some way of advising 2 subjects that used to live there are now back. They're currently in a red barn on the property. Unit 1 Charlie 11 is going to be en route to a criminal trespass, 16901 here, Circle Charlie 20. Some way of advising 2 subjects that used to live there are now back. They're currently in a red barn on the property.
501.
Traffic injury,
501.
East Pflugerville Parkway.
Show me that Explorer for maintenance.
10-4.
So, the event that I streamed yesterday about the officer-involved shooting, it looks like it was federal marshals, U.S. Marshals. I believe it's the Lone Star Fugitive Task Force. They apparently, there's an apartment complex right over there by where it happened. And apparently they were trying to arrest this guy. And for whatever reason, he got in his car and ran. He hit one of the police cars. And then they got him out onto William Cannon, where somehow they brought him to a stop. His car was literally kind of in a turnaround on William Cannon itself, and that's where the shots were fired. So when I was listening in yesterday, before they moved the operation over to an encrypted channel, they were doing CPR on the guy, and obviously he didn't make it. So it's a shame, man, that someone had to die that way. But you make the choice of doing what he did. I mean, what are you supposed to do? There was an Austin police officer that was involved in the shooting. That was looks like he was probably attached to the task force, to the fugitive task force. From what I heard yesterday, I had a couple of people messaging me about it, The Lone Star Fugitive Task Force is made up of local officers and U.S. Marshals. So, sucks, but you know, that's the kind of stuff that happens when you live by the gun. You're going to end up dying by the gun. Live by the gun, you die by the gun.
Charlie Bros have a check status on units.
I have units for extreme search it, Maynard, and
Good morning. Yeah, hope dope. I'm telling you right now, hope dope. You know, sometimes hope is all people need. And, you know, people out here on the street, I think, hope is what they need. A lot of people, I've heard people tell me that hope is overrated. You give people hope and they're going to get let down, and that leads them to dark places. But I don't think hope is ever a bad thing. If there's hope for a better future, you have something to work for. But hope dope is a real drug, I think. It is very real. A lot of violence has been happening in Austin the last few weeks. A lot of crazy stuff has been happening. So, you know, we were out at Lady. Very odd to me that, like I said, I haven't been able to confirm if 2 people had a heart attack and died at the same time or in the same day at the lake, at Town Lake, Lady Bird Lake, whatever you want to call it. But if that indeed happened, it's pretty suspicious, in my opinion. I mean, it's just me, but trying to confirm that, and it's not easy because all of these deaths that are happening around the lake, Austin Police Department, they are not talking about it. They're not releasing any information at all about it. So, it's especially the drowning deaths. Those are the ones. So I have heard from some sources in the department that all of the files surrounding the drowning deaths are basically locked down to just the people that need to know. I also heard that the officers, that the homicide detectives, the people in the department, they come up with these, I call them like pet names, like the Rainy Street Ripper or whatever. They had some pet names that they were saying, and they were reprimanded pretty harshly for that. So the higher-ups in the department have definitely put a clamp on these people. And that just blows my mind. But anyway, if anybody has any information on a second heart attack death, let me know, because like I said, I haven't been able to confirm it. But
Texas plate, John Robert Zebra.
If it indeed happened, that's pretty dang suspicious.
Received.
We couldn't find that traffic accident. You got canceled.
So check this out. My wife got bit by a scorpion last night. So we live out basically in the middle of nowhere now, where we have nothing but cactus, rocks, Texas live oaks, and scorpions. And in my little boy's room, there was a scorpion, and she sat down and got bit on the leg. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if you've ever been bit by one of those they're small little green scorpions, but they hurt like hell. And she got stung. She's limping this morning after being bit by that thing yesterday. Stupid scorpions. Pissing the night away.
This is an auto suspicious person, 10300 Springdale Road. This provider Hispanic male, plaid shirt, green pants, Adidas backpack. The other front door on foot, unknown where he's at right now.
Can I get a Baker unit that's 10A to head over to Benning and Railroad for disabled motorists? It's going to be in the turn lane to go north on North Railroad on the west side of the intersection.
1141.
All right, we got to roll.
Okay, well, I'll take it. I'm right down the road. Please walk away.
So I've stopped drinking all sodas. I drink pretty much nothing with sugar in it anymore, and I've started drinking these liquid deaths. I like the one called Convicted Melon. It's got a little melon flavor in it. These liquid death waters, it's carbonated water, man, they are so awesome. I drink the shucks out of them all day long.
Another domestic between the father and son.
There is a little bit of carbs in it, 3 grams of carbs in one whole can, which one can is 16.9 ounces. But it's never a bad thing to drink more water.
There you go, 241.
Tomatoes, who received?
I've got that song, I think it's called Tub Thumper from Chumbawamba. Stuck in my head.
One vehicle in front of the
Pissing the night away. Pissing the night away.
So someone round into the workers' defense labor building. Yeah, 1-1 to Officer Chia. Smoker vehicle.
6, switch to Frank 75, Frank 111 on disturbance, hot shot, 795.
Stand by.
Yeah, 2-3.
The Subaru's gonna be at the 9001 though. And then 22.
Good morning, Reading Lights
Same 195.
from YouTube. We're almost in town, and we're gonna get busy and see what we can find out here on the streets this morning. First, I got to get through this stupid traffic though. But thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
The individual is now holding the firearm while on the premises of QT.
Subject's going to be Dory Thompson, 525 and 99. Unknown weapon, possibly drugs.
So we're going first.
Talking about our new QT.
Smoke investigation. Great Hills Trail. That was right behind us. I didn't see any. No, actually, it's right in front of us. It's going to
Do they
be
believe he's aiming at someone?
9065
or simply
Cap of
holding?
Texas.
At this time, just holding.
10-4, I'm clear.
Have him.
Find out if they want to see
9065 Cap of Texas Highway. So there's a smoke investigation right in front of us. 8900.
Checking.
There could be a homeless camp in that area. Very wooded area. But I'll tell you what, I am not going to be going into that area because traffic is horrible. Hey, Chris. Oh, Chris. Hey, man.
That other crash on 1825 on the limit.
Would have never known. Reading Lights. Reading Lights. I like that name. But I like my my community note name. My community notes name better. I'm Peppy Glacier Turkey. I love that name, Peppy Glacier Turkey. Peppy Glacier Turkey.
Trying to make it through the traffic.
I guess it really is. That other guy that said it, that's basically just a penguin. I guess that's true. Come on, traffic.
Pursuit. Units en route to the disturbance hotshot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot of haters here in town, and I'll never understand it either. I really will never understand it. Everyone happens so much anymore, but I'll get, some really nasty messages from people, and I just don't get it.
Okay, 6 to 17 from the
When we
school,
moved,
is it
when we bought our
Tara
new
or
place
Amanda?
last year and we moved, I don't have my name on anything, like my personal name anymore, because of that reason. I don't want to be doxxed. Doxing is dangerous, scary stuff, man. And doing stuff live like this right here, this could be even a little bit more scarier. People watching it, trying to figure out your real-time location and calling stuff into the cops and making stuff up. You know how people do.
On Charlie 46, checking status.
So, 5G traffic?
7 North 2.
22, I just saw station.
But you gotta love the haters, man.
946, we're still
At least they're helping you feed the algorithm.
They're still checking.
Like, wait,
Speaking of algorithm, X is going to be releasing a update to their algorithm here in the next couple of days. They may have already done it, to where I can't wait to see the people. There's people that go through, they know coding, they can read the algorithm, they can read the code that's in the algorithm and kind of give a good idea of how to actually feed that algorithm in a more positive way. And I can't wait to see the new updates come out to the algorithm and see how it's working. Yep, amen. I'm telling you.
My motor's just been pushed.
946, where's the code for? 716, what? He's outside the
Alright, I think we're gonna head. I guess we can head into downtown and see what's happening. I've got a project that I'm working on in downtown right now. I don't really want to say too much about it, but I guess you could call it kind of a collaboration between me and another person. Some of the officers and things, some of the work that's being done by the city in downtown, we're trying to get a handle on.
Container 11 is out on traffic to or block of each person.
So what is y'all's, look, I'm trying to eat healthier right now. What is y'all's go-to breakfast? A healthier option for breakfast. Miss Nectar, what is your go-to breakfast? Chris says, I totally get it. I had a meeting with the members of the AJC one time about a week ago. I suppose they don't like pro bono investigative writers. Yeah, they don't. Oh, the Austin Justice Coalition. Oh, those guys are jackasses. I'm going to tell you right now. I wouldn't have met with them. That's and try to make you look like crap over it. They're not good people. And Chris, you share a name with one of the worst in the city. Oh, I get it now. I see why you said the good one. I get it. That's right. Yeah, the other Chris Harris, he is not a good person. Oh man, I missed the hot shot call.
I don't want time to turn around as well.
What's the time delay on this call?
So July 17th.
Well, see, I'm just having trouble finding something that is filling, that's healthy,
I'll ask.
and that'll stay with you for a while. You know, that it's just, you know, you're not going to be hungry an hour later.
He's at the front corner if you guys don't see him.
So I'm trying to stay away from stuff like oatmeal and
I'm clear.
things like that. I'm trying to eat more of like a, I guess you call it a carnivore diet. Basically, I'm just eating meat right now.
Go ahead.
And
First one, Lincoln, Sam, Charles.
I guess the
4,
faster
5,
your
6, 7,
metabolism, the hungrier you get, the quicker. Most hostile people I've
Dr.
ever
Woodward,
met, no attempt at
officers making
understanding,
contact.
no attempt at
Who was next?
objectivity. Yeah. Yeah, I've never met them. I've never talked to them. I've never had any run-ins with them, Chris. But I can imagine that's exactly how they are.
Yeah, just fine to the collision, now collision from the scene.
Let's see.
The Suburban left the scene, but an additional caller is seeing it going south.
There's a
on I-35.
rollover
We're
traffic
checking the updated
injury.
location on it.
That is at FM 2222.
Advising it has 20-inch rims and ladders
There's
on top.
a traffic injury,
Have a license
major
plate.
accident, priority 4F
Sam
on
Victor
Palmer
Williams,
Lane.
8160. Mayor 14's out of traffic to their left of us first. East first.
But I've been really enjoying eating meat. Aim for Whole Foods. Unfortunately, might have to prep and adjust better to your schedule. Yeah, so I've been. That's one thing I'm having to get used to is food prepping. Try to do that on Sunday evenings, Sunday afternoons, Sunday evenings, and prep for the week. Trying to keep our kids eating healthier as well, but that's a little harder, you know. Kids will. I have an 11-year-old now, and that kid will literally eat anything in the house. I guess, you know, being a growing boy, he's literally hoovering up all the food that he can eat. Whole Foods are the way to go. People make it so complicated, and it's that simple. Yeah, Whole Foods. Yeah, I've so the thing is, and I'm telling you, I've gotten away from all processed foods. So all fast foods, all processed foods completely. Try to eat nothing with any kind of preservatives or chemicals, and I feel so much better. Like, I feel better. And I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but the hardest thing was getting away from sugar. I didn't realize how addictive sugar really was. Michael Pollan has a great documentary on Netflix. Okay, I'll take a look at it for sure. But the food in this country is killing people. It's poisoning people with all the chemicals and preservatives. You know, I try to drink raw milk, and I mean, the food's killing people in this country. It's crazy. I was never a fat person, and you know, getting older and after starting Dash, I had no time to really sit down, or I didn't make time to sit down and actually eat good stuff. But, and I packed on a lot of weight. I'm 6 feet tall and I weigh 220. And that's too big. So, our bodies are not meant to process lab-made things. Yeah, for sure. I mean, look at all the chemicals when you read the labels on all of these foods that you see at the grocery store. Even the foods that they say that are healthy, you know, quote unquote healthy. It's ridiculous. But I feel a lot better since I've stopped eating anything processed. And like I said a while ago, I'm basically just eating mainly meats right now. Some vegetables, but mainly meat. Other issues we have, but the problem is the food. And I think the food has a lot to do with our mental health issues in this country. I mean, if you're feeding your body healthy food that it's meant to eat, fresh food, fresh vegetables, meat, you know, you're going to feed your brain the stuff that it needs to, you know, to operate at an optimal level. Get away from the trash. Like foods out of a box. I mean, come on. Or even like the healthy choice dinners. My dad passed away a few months ago, And I've talked to my mom every day, and she tells me that she's eating just a lot of like healthy choice dinners now because it's easier. And while I get that, you know, it's easier for her to do that, it's so bad for her. And she was never the kind of person just to eat frozen dinners. Let's see, it's sad when I see people talk about it in medication. Yep. About having to put their kids on medication to get them to... I'm telling you, you know what? My wife and I was just having this discussion last night about my 11-year-old because the teacher, one of his teachers at school had mentioned that he may have ADHD and that we need to get him assessed for it. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. You know, we're not going to... No way. He's not going to go on... You know, they put these kids on amphetamines. It's crazy. Putting a kid on amphetamines? If you ever want to help with things, just DM me. I will definitely do that for sure. I will definitely DM you about it. But when you look, you know, last night I was sitting down and just did a Google search about amphetamines in children and ADHD. And it is mind-blowing the amount of adults that's taking amphetamines right now. It is a huge amount of people taking amphetamines. I mean, we're running around every day and most people are speed freaks. I'll never understand how amphetamines are supposedly able to make you focus, but telling you.
5738.
Seriously, it blew my mind reading about how many kids are on, you know, the like Adderall, that kind of medication. There's another one I was reading about last night called, I think it was called something Vance, Vyvanse is what it was called, and there are so many kids right now that's on speed. It's crazy. It cannot be good for your child to have them on speed. And you know, I remember when I was his age, I was a little hellion too, man. I mean, I think we all were. When you're 11 to, you know, that you're just hitting puberty and getting to that age, we were all hellions. It is a serious problem. The medical community, it's a good thing that, you know, being an advocate for that, I'm telling you. I don't remember when I was a kid, I don't think I had one friend that was medicated like that. I don't remember having a friend that ever talked about being on antidepressants or anxiety medicine or Adderall. We didn't take anything as a kid. You know, when I was playing football in elementary school, I would have to take a note and a bottle of liquid Tylenol to school with me, and they kind of pitched a fit every time I needed to take Tylenol for being sore. And now we're putting... Let's see, who just called me? And now we're putting kids on some of the strongest narcotics that are made. I'm starting to sound like my dad. These young people, these dang young people. Oh.
It's going to be flooding at a residence. It's going to be for the Round Rock Opportunity Center.
Let's see. 6807 McNeil. I didn't hear what the call was. You know, the other day, the day that it stormed really bad? There was like 4 or 5 actual structure fires that day. There was a lot. That's a lot of fires in one day.
It's slow rolling with the slick top behind it. And just block the number 1 lane so cars can go around.
Never.
Exercise and eating better. I'm telling you right now. Exercising and eating better will change your mental clarity, I think, for sure.
104. Hey, if you can just come up, we're gonna
Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back.
WQ1343 Elmhurst.
What is this? Lamar?
Heading north down
Yeah.
on Disney, gray Honda Accord.
Texas School for the Visually Impaired.
19 lane, air clear.
Oh my sweet Jesus.
Never mind.
B95 one time. You can reach out with DWI. You have Howard CCH into the jail in my email, please.
Yes.
Or could you turn on?
Adam, crazy Adam.
Never.
You're going for
All right. I use a lot of talk to text, and so sometimes I have to mute when I'm sending a message.
It's gonna be for a naked Hispanic or Asian female in back of the building, has a yellow wrap around her. I'm complaining to call 911, wouldn't say what was wrong.
four 41 high school.
I heard that. I did hear that she was a homicide suspect. I heard that that night.
I'm not clear if anyone's separated. We downgrade the hot shot to a 1.
Then let me look at it.
286. For clarification, he was not on the property. And I have a 27 for you when you're ready.
Kissing the night.
11005872.
All right. I may have made a mistake coming down Lamar. May have made a mistake. Because there's a shit ton of traffic
Front door to
here.
Wells Fargo is damaged. There's 3 employees waiting outside. And a black Audi, a blue BMW, and a gray Toyota. I'll take Crowning for 75.
I feel naked right now because I don't have my watch. I have I got so attached to. I have a Samsung smartwatch that I use, and I got so attached to use, and I have to buy another one now because I got it really wet and it went kaput. I did everything with that stupid watch. And I got that watch for a really good price too.
Yeah, that's who she's saying it is.
Sam 195.
And you can cancel Hero.
Assign Charlie to 86.
Going into 36, pretty packed out, so I'm gonna probably have to let the guy. Might not have been white. Go for a couple of samples. Do.
Fire alarm mid-rise.
101 to 108. This westbound traffic going into 360 is pretty backed up, so I'm gonna probably have to let these guys westbound have been white go for a couple of cycles.
Community notes.
That's 422. Available station, will you please add the door call? Receive ladder 2 engine 17. Return. Back to 74, 2006 Ford, either page or something.
Okay, I gotta get off of this road.
Make sure the name of Lamar and doors are open kind of hard.
Simple.
Yeah, Valley 805, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Show me 10-8 from this location.
Allergy Partners of Central
They still doing the
Texas.
fire drill this morning there?
Ooh, Taco Shack. That was one of my favorite places, but I can't eat it anymore.
Give me 1 second. I'll come.
Thinking about it is making me hungry. The Taco Shack.
Down 21, 195, King of CID.
We're gonna turn right here. Crash urgent on Man Shack.
What's the complaint?
And I cleared a whole builder check around them. In the parking lot next to the bank, there's 3 vehicles, a black Audi, a blue BMW, and a gray Toyota. His name is Steven.
Work for the DOD as a school.
Simple.
Yeah, the doors are still secured, and looks like a rock thrown in through the top portion of the door. It doesn't look like nobody with it. Where's the complainant?
547 dispatch.
Yeah, 102.
And a gray Toyota. His name is Steven.
Okay.
There's that on top.
I'm a 685 stop.
I do not know why I have that Chumbawamba song stuck in my head, but I can't get it out.
Where'd you have the upper level? East Media Park.
We're gonna head down to South Austin and check out the.
Is that right? It is.
10-4.
Actually, we're gonna drive down West Campus first, and then head down to South Austin. See what's happening at UT.
201 Warren, he's been playing.
A lot of graffiti down here right now. Dirty Martins. Love Dirty Martins.
We have a student on campus that is cussing and causing a scene.
Such a perfect location for a place like that too. So awesome. I sincerely hope that they get to keep that location there. They have some of the best hamburgers in the city. And of course, Kirby Lane Cafe. Great stuff. They have some very good queso.
Victor William 3971.
Negative on a gray Honda 4-door to Isidro Morales.
2892.
Y'all want to know what the biggest shock was to me when I moved to Austin? Well, now it was well over 20 years ago. And see, I moved here well over 20 years ago. So one of the biggest shocks to me back then was seeing ladies exercising and jogging around Austin with topless. I come from a small town in North Texas, and seeing that was the biggest shock. And also Leslie Cochran. That guy, I met him once, saw him many times around the city. But seeing, females topless and jogging, and it just blew my mind. One of the very first things that I saw here in Austin, I was here on the drag, and there was a man, it wasn't Leslie, but there was a man riding a bicycle in a thong. That's all he had on, was a thong. And when you're a country boy from a city of 500 people and almost in Oklahoma, and you see a guy running around in a thong on a bicycle, it's a culture shock. And to me, that image will always represent Austin to me. That's like my first true experience here, and it will always remind me of Austin.
With Robert Henry William 1490, it's a white Honda Pilot.
WPQI 1243 call for service 2320 seconds to be called in by a neighbor saying that someone's screaming at ongoing issues for 3831.
Yeah, once we located it, it's going to be 2302 Falcon Hill. Green House.
750 truck.
Business worker on the third floor, and he says to go out.
Before you talk, 425. I'm going to leave it in the parking lot. People are just
So we are working on, hang on. So we're working on another, I have another guy that we're going to set up with some equipment. He is another lawn guy. Word has kind of spread of what we did with Drifter. And so the hard part is the hard part when you find these people is vetting them to see if they are actually serious and they really want to, you know, help themselves, or if they're just wanting to get something out of you. That's the hardest part about this. And you know, it's not like we can set everybody up with a lawnmower, but when we find these people, you know, we really want to help them if they want to help themselves. But how do you vet these people? It's almost impossible. So, but we're working on it, and I've already got this person, we've got them set up with some equipment. We should be delivering them in the next week or so if I can confirm that they are legitimately, you know, wanting to help themselves. But again, there's only so much that we can do to vet people. So at some point, Free Texas News, how am I listening to the police and fire? I have a ham on me and would like to try it. I have 3 scanners, 3 police radios. I have one on my dash, and I have 2 mounted under the dash. So on one, I have, like the one you're hearing, that's on my dash. I keep Austin Fire on that one. Then I keep Austin Police and Travis County Sheriff on one, and then I keep Department of Public Safety, DPS, and all of the little surrounding cities on the other. It gets a little hard to monitor all of them at certain points, but, and I'm going to tell you, these stupid things are not cheap. The police in this area are on a network called the Greater Austin Travis Regional Radio System, and it's a Motorola Type 2 system that is digital. So an analog radio will not work. The problem is the digital radios are extremely expensive. I've paid, it was like a little over $500 a piece for these. So it is a pretty big expense, but it's worth it if this is what you do for a living. You can't do without them. The other option you have is you can listen to them on the internet. Broadcastify is a website that you can listen to them on, and there's apps that you can put on your phone that you can listen to them on. There is a delay on those though. Sometimes, you know, if I have it on my phone and I'm listening to it on the actual radio, there's a delay of sometimes up to a minute from when the transmission actually happens to when it's actually put out over the internet. Just starting down the citizen journalist path, man, I'm telling you, you can do it. You can do it. Just start. You know, I made a post about this last night. People have been asking me how I got started, and honestly, you just got to start. You know, just got to start doing it. Just got to start putting out that content. And you know, in the beginning, it's going to be slow. You're not going to get a lot of traction, but if you just are persistent and you keep pumping the content out, you'll finally start to get a little love from the algorithm, and things will start working out for you. But just get out and start pumping out that content. That guy has the biggest calf muscles I've ever seen. He's like Pai Pai. And man, if you need help, if I can ever anything if I can ever do anything to help you, just send me a message. Is there a good, best website to find frequencies and ways to monitor? Radio Reference. Get on Google and search for Radio Reference. So these new radios that I bought, like the one on my dash, it's smaller and it actually fits on my dash. It's called a Home Patrol 2. These newer radios, you basically connect them to your computer, and then it goes out to the Uniden or Uniden, however you pronounce it, and it downloads all the frequencies and everything you need. It'll basically program itself. So then, you know, like, look, I'm looking at the Greater Austin Travis Regional Radio System. Then I can select a department that I want to listen to. After I select the department, then I can either scan all of the channels for that department, or let's say I just want to listen to George Dispatch, which is downtown. I can do that. So basically, how the cops have their radios where they can select what channel they're on, you can do the same thing on these scanners. You can select what channel you're on, or you can monitor all of them. Covered the convoy to Eagle Pass and anti-SB for Bitcoin events so far. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, I was down at the convoy. I was down at the convoy in Eagle Pass as well. We actually started that week. We started in Brownsville, and we basically crawled up the border that week. Working near Mopac, Southwest camps you've covered yesterday. Yeah, I'm telling you, back off in the trees there at Southwest Parkway at Mopac, you really don't know that those places exist. They're very well hidden. So, you know, if you want to, I don't recommend anybody go start filming homeless camps. I mean, it's kind of dumb, to be quite honest. You can get hurt doing it. We always go in teams. I never go alone. That's one of the things that we do. Never would I go in alone with a camera. Now, I will go into camps alone if I'm just doing outreach work, but I will not go into camps alone if I'm going in to actually do filming. The other thing is over the years, the last 2 years, I've been doing this now full time for about a year and about 2 years in total. I've gotten to know a lot of the people out here, and once they get to know you and once they see that you're not there to hurt them, then they'll leave you alone. That, you know, I've got a lot of friends that are on the streets. So, but if I can ever do anything to help you, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you any way I can. We need more citizen journalists, that's for sure. It's the future. Independent journalism is the future. Mainstream media is definitely on the way out. We are the future. And it's a lot of hard work. People don't realize, you know, doing citizen independent journalism, whatever you want to call it, there is it's a ton of work. I mean, most weeks I'm working like 12 to 14 hours a day right now, and it's a ton of work. Wondering if doing Bitcoin outreach education would mean anything to the homeless that have trouble with banks. Yeah, it could. The only problem with that is most of them they don't have any access to internet or phones or anything like that. And when they do get access to it, their phones end up getting stolen or broke, or they can't charge it, or something happens. The other thing is when you're trying to help people and you're trying to, you know, actually do outreach work, you're trying to hook people up with what they need to live, there's a huge problem in the homeless community with honesty. And you never know, like, who you're helping, if they legitimately are needing your help or if they're just wanting to get what they can get out of you. And that's the problem, like, with, you know, trying to hook people up with, like, lawnmowers to do lawn work. You never know if that person just wants what they can get so they can take it straight to a pawn shop and pawn it, or if they legitimately want to, you know, they want to try to work their way out of homelessness. Drifter was a kind of a unique individual in that he already had equipment. He had already been mowing yards, and his lawnmower had broken. So he gave us references for people that he was already mowing for that we could talk to. So I'm a big believer in you know, working your way out of homelessness. When I was homeless a lot of years ago, I went down to Woodward and 35 at the Home Depot and picked up day labor jobs and worked my way out. So I am a huge believer and working your, trying to work your way out of homelessness. When you can work a day and make $100 a day, that's a huge, we try to give hope. We call it hope dope. Giving people hope is the best thing. It gives them a reason to wake up every day and work hard. Yeah, it's a tough problem. You never know. I mean, it's always a gamble. But I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to try to help. Whatever they do with that help, that's on them. They've got to live with those decisions. But we do have to be a bit selective with who we are helping, because there's only so much help we can give, and we want to try to make sure that we are putting, the help in the right places. Yeah, I've been brainstorming some ways to do this too, and we've got. Send me a message. We should talk. Maybe we could work together on something. But yeah, there's a lot of possibilities for helping. There's a lot of ways to do it. The problem is funding. This equipment's not cheap, but there's ways to do it. Taking donations from, let's say, how many people have an old mower in their garage that, maybe just needs a tune-up or something and then can be put back to use. We're not trying to give away brand new lawnmowers like we did with Drifter, but, shoot, man, I'm sure if I tried to find people that had, just some mowers sitting around that they're not using, I guarantee you we could probably find quite a few of them. The other thing we've been thinking about, let me get a drink. I got. The other program we've been thinking about doing is when we're doing these camp cleanups, taking the big contractor bags, the homeless people that are living in that camp, and saying, here, I'll give you, $5 a bag. You go and start filling these bags up with garbage. I'll give you, $2, $3, $4, $5 a bag. And I guarantee you could get, that new HEB. I'm just wondering when they're gonna finish it, Frank. But so our idea is to let the homeless people work in the camps where they're living. Take the bags, give them the trash bags, and say, look, I'll give you $3 a bag. I guarantee you could clean a whole camp up within a day's time. And it would probably be cheaper to do it that way than what the city, than how much the city spends cleaning these camps. Oh, Frank, it's supposed to be done this fall. I can't wait to see the inside of it. It's a nice big old HEB. It's gonna be it's good. I kind of miss that old HEB that's been there forever. That was like the South Congress staple. We're gonna drive through. We're right here at Woodward and 35 right now. Let's drive through and see how many people are out there waiting for day labor jobs right now. I guarantee you there's a bunch. Oh, free Texas. Let's see, I'll DM you still have a full-time job, and like I said, I've realized how much work this is to try to. Yeah, free Texas. Now, I'm telling you right now, people don't realize exactly how much work it takes to produce if you're an independent journalist, it takes a lot of work. And thankfully, I signed a contract with Citizen to provide them, coverage of the city. So I was able. I've actually got press credentials now, so it's easier for me to access scenes. It's easier for me to access press conferences and things like that. Bitcoin community, we could get donations for the proof of work of contractor bag. I'm telling you, I think it's a great idea, filling the bags and letting the homeless folks themselves, work and make money. And you're helping them, but at the same time you're helping the community by getting these camps cleaned up. I think it's a wonderful idea, and it's something that we're working on right now. It's really something we're working on. Actually, Dash just started taking donations. We just created a Bitcoin donation link too. I've always, my savings, my personal savings, my wife and I have taken our savings out of the bank, and all of our savings is basically in cryptocurrency right now. And it's the best decision I've ever made. I've made more money with my savings in the last 2 years than I probably have, actually in the last 3 years, than I probably have in my whole life. You know, when you can make your savings make money, that's a big win. Cryptocurrency is great. All right, we're pulling in here to the Home Depot. There's folks out here, or if it's just mainly illegals.